So I've kind of been waiting around all day today. Welcome to the video, by the way. Forgot to say welcome. Kind of been waiting around to either get Evo packages in the mail so we can finish the Evo and get that running today, or to finish my dad's Skyline. Evo package looks delayed, so we're heading over to Tommy's shop to go finish up my dad's Skyline. The stuff got delivered, but it got delivered at Tommy's shop. Bad news is, kind of far. Good news is, sick, really scenic drive. So I threw the GoPro on the roof and we'll do a quick time-lapse montage on the way there. Tommy doesn't ship stuff to his shop, so he normally ships stuff to his house. So it's an hour drive to pick up some stupid little gaskets and crush washers. I really gotta start putting GoPros in this thing when I go through drive-thrus to get coffee, because not only is it funny because it's right-hand drive, but it also smells very interesting because of the Ignite red. And yeah, it's a stickered up race car with red tinted windows. There's a lot of senses that it evokes through drive-thrus. Another fun little anecdote, me shifting a little bit too hard, and I had been messing with the shifter, so I went to shift and the whole shifter just went push, and I had to pull over because I had to like take it apart to fix it and pop it back in. But yeah, fun day. I feel like I've been running around errands forever. I got a little bit of a later start because I was waiting for parts to be delivered, but it's almost 5, well, it's almost 4:30, and I haven't gotten to Tommy's shop yet, so it's a later start. I don't know if you guys noticed the new shades, but shameless plug. I got sick of ruining all my nice shades whenever I'd be working on cars or sitting on them, and just, I kind of felt guilty because they would get all scratched up and I'd bend them. So we made a set of very, very affordable. I don't want to say cheap because they're not cheap. They have really nice polarized lenses. But I think you guys would be pretty stoked on these if you saw them and got to see through them in person. Very simple, but these are available on the site. I haven't talked about it in a video yet because I keep forgetting. And then we also, a super long time in the makes, I know a couple of you guys have seen me wearing these at FD. I had one prototype made of our very own sun hat. So there's a hat from another company that I really liked for a few reasons, and I kind of took some stuff about it that I liked and then reconstructed a little bit to make it a little bit more durable because the one that I had kept falling apart. So this is our very own hat, fully made from scratch, and I think it looks pretty cool. So catch me wearing my sweet LZMFG sun hat. If you want to know the reason behind these, so originally I used to wear them when I was Doogie, kind of as a joke. Well, I mean when I used to know Doogie, he used to wear them, that's what I meant. But at track days, I can't wear sunscreen because the sunscreen will get in my eyes and then I can't see in my helmet. It's very dangerous. So when I'm not in the car and I'm working or walking around the pits and stuff, it's really nice to have a sun hat so I don't have to wear sunscreen on my face and my face doesn't get burnt. So they look, I mean, some people think they look kind of stupid. I kind of like them. It's a look, it goes with the mustache. It's the thing that the kids do these days. So it is gonna be brutally hot inside of Tommy's shop. So look forward to a very sweaty vlog, but should be fun. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is some turbo surgery. So on the new turbo, we need to transfer the drain line setup, and we also need to switch the wastegate actuator because I guess the one that comes on the RB25 turbos, especially the Neo turbos, is only good for like, I think like 5 PSI or something, where this one is a bit higher. So we'll swap those, and that way everything should be the same in regards to the boost level. I don't have to mess with the boost controller that much. And then swap this drain line, and I'll start playing with other coolant lines and stuff to make sure I have all the fittings and washers I need. Before I continue, I thought I'd address 2 things real quick. The boost reference from the turbo before, it's like 1/8 inch NPT fitting that goes here. There isn't one here, and I could tap it, but I think I'm just gonna pull off another boost reference on the car just because I don't have the right tap and I don't wanna make it sketchy. So there's that. And then the bolts on the manifold are indeed broken. So looking at them, there is no exhaust leak currently because the bolts on the bottom are still there. So I don't wanna try to mess with it. I got the proper like bits and stuff, but I'm not gonna be able to access it unless I actually like pull everything out. So even though it would be a good idea to pull it off and do right now, I think I'm gonna leave it. I think that's the best thing to do if there's no leaks. Just keep it simple. So I'm about ready to start putting the new turbo in. Wasted about an hour of time trying to get a broken bolt out of this thing, and boy, was it a nightmare. But I think I got it, and I think we're ready to start throwing the turbo in. Fresh new gasket for the turbo, and then she's going on. With the elbow off, good note is I was actually able to get to the water line just by kind of reaching around here with a wrench, which is nice compared to before where I had to get it from underneath. So that was tight. Also, an important thing to do either reuse the old ones or get new turbo locking plates. What this does is it basically clamps on the other side of the turbo. So you fold these things over and then the nuts can't back out, because it sucks when your turbo starts leaking and you can't access those bolts. One cool new thing I picked up is an ISR turbo elbow downpipe combo. So they actually sell this and it goes right on the turbo and it replaces having to have the turbo elbow all the way to the downpipe. So this thing should be pretty rad. Getting all the downpipe bolts in was absolutely miserable. I'd say it probably took me an hour and I cut up my hands. Trying to get at it from the top is kind of tricky. And a lot of the bolts are hard to access, but I've got it all good in there. And now, this is the FD I want, by the way. I want Tommy to sell it to me. It's so pretty and clean. Actually, let's go take a look at this one real quick. I've never really looked at it that close, but I know it's got pretty low mileage. It is really clean inside. I want. One day. I hate putting old crusty looking stuff back on, so I gave the heat shields a fresh coat of cast aluminum paint. I've done this before in heat shields and it actually makes a pretty big difference, and it lasts and it looks a lot nicer. Fun fact, I was actually stressing about not having a boost reference on the turbo and having to either tap something or get a line from somewhere else, but it turns out I had to use the RB25 elbow, so that's a good thing to note. You need the elbow to go, like the compressor side elbow to go with the turbo, because the bolts are slightly different, and there's boost reference off that. So it's perfect. Now I'm just kind of buttoning everything up. I'm waiting to put the turbo shield on because I want to do like a test for leaks and stuff while I still have room to access things. Show you guys real quick how to make a boost leak tester since Tommy doesn't have one here. I want to check everything before I get it all back together and start running it. Just a 2-inch straight if you're doing an RB25 turbo, and then a 2-inch plug. Basically just clamp the plug in, drill out a hole, pop a valve stem in for a car, and you get a boost leak tester. Only at Tommy FES shop would we be using a raised valve stem for our boost leak tester. I think he'd be proud, and hopefully not mad. I saw that he had a box of new ones back here. So Ty helped me do a quick boost leak test, and right away I noticed two pretty big problems that were present before that were probably making the car feel a lot slower than it could be. So that blow-off valve I think is stuck open. It's like permanently leaking. You guys can hear it.
A little whistle.
It's not as bad as it was before, but I might be running out of air. So the blow-off valve is leaking, and then I found a split vacuum line in the back that I got to replace too. There you go.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't think the blow-off valve was supposed to do this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let me see if Tommy has another one. Yeah, it's like the plunger is like stuck or something. Weird. So, new blow-off valve. Maybe they all leak?
Let's just hope they do, and that it's normal.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if that's the case, put an aftermarket one on, it probably would make quite a big of a difference. I mean, it's not leaking that much, but let's just verify that it didn't just... that's weird. I wonder why they do that. You guys can comment below. I don't know the purpose of this. It's almost like some sort of like factory restrictor thingy, who knows what. But I noticed there's a little hole here. And when I blow into this hole, that's the exact noise that we were getting. So for some reason, the factory system has this like pressure relief built in that's always open and letting air feed back in the intake. I don't know why though. It's kind of weird. I could block it off, but I might cause an issue. So we'll keep running it as is. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything dumb, but this is probably one of the most miserable things I've done in a very long time. It was good though. It's been a minute since I've actually been like challenged working on a car, and even though I thought that this was gonna be one of those dumb, simple, easy things because it is just like a bolt-on turbo upgrade, I forgot how nice it's been working on race cars that have been simplified and made easier to work on, where when you're dealing with this jungle gym of all these weird piping things that just, you gotta put in a certain order, otherwise you gotta redo everything, and then cutting up your hands because it's so tight in there. I definitely don't miss it, but stoked that it's done now. I gotta fill it up with coolant, check for leaks, and then I can put the turbo heat shield on, and then we can go out and test it. So, home stretch. Like I said, I left the, one other thing I wanted to tell you guys. Kind of cool, random little thing. If you get the actual crush washers from Nissan, they have these cool little U-shaped ones where, you can get these from Manjuku, where they like are attached, so it makes it way easier for putting them on. If you ever put those banjos on, you know exactly how this would come in handy. But anyway, I'm gonna start it real quick, open downpipe just for fun, and to check for leaks real quick, but then I gotta connect the exhaust, which I don't feel like doing right this second, and then put the turbo heat shield back on. Also, in case you don't believe in how people tell you to bleed cars, it's always important to get this jacked up to get the radiator higher than everything else. Just jacking up the car, you saw bubbles start to come up. So it's true, do it. Listen. The boost should still be set the same around 0.7 bar. We can probably turn it up closer to a bar, but we'll leave it here and see how it is for now. Something I forgot to mention as well, cool thing about this little upgrade, it's kind of like doing a T28 on an SR versus a T25 where the stock MAF and injectors and everything are fine and will compensate for it. So you don't even need a tune, and she runs good. You wanna come? Okay, it's not, my biggest concern right off the bat was that it was gonna be laggy, because that's what everyone says, but the old setup had so many boost leaks that it feels less laggy with a bigger turbo. Let's see how she pulls to red line once we get out on the main road. Let's see how she feels. I think we were spinning.
Yeah, we were spinning a little bit.
Probably would be nice if I could see the boost.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard because I've been driving around my Skyline. I should have like driven this thing before as like a baseline, because of course it's gonna feel slow compared to my Skyline. Let's see what it's pushing for boost and if it holds. So it's about 0.7 bar. You can definitely turn it up, but like, she's a ripper right now.
It's really smooth.
Yeah. Look, that was sketchy. I tried adding a boost T, but just revving it was too much. It was going over a bar. So I decided to try to get the boost controller figured out. And using the Google Translate app, I was able to figure out where I can start adjusting the value for the boost controller. So I'm gonna slowly up that until I get it right where I want. So unfortunately, the car ripped at higher boost, but I'm not too sure if it's what I think it is, but I started to hear the most minute little breakups. I think this car probably needs a fuel pump upgrade to be running higher boost. So I'm gonna play it safe and put a bigger pump in this thing. I turned it back down to about like 0.7 bar, and it seems to be happy right around there. It is now midnight, and I guess you could say it's somewhat done. Still gotta do the fuel pump. I would love to drive the car home so I could have my dad give it a drive tomorrow, but he's not gonna notice that big of a difference until I'm able to turn the boost up and really take advantage of the bigger turbo, which I don't feel comfortable doing safely until I get a better fuel pump in that car. So I've read I've heard that people use GTR pumps. Tommy probably has one laying around, and I'll do that another day. The good thing is my dad's pretty busy this week, so it's not like he's really gonna be missing out on driving the car. And then we were planning on working on it together. I think Friday we were gonna do brakes, new pads, rotors, lines, and put the new tires on. So probably just wait and have him drive it then. And then Larson's gonna come and correct it this weekend and get all that crap out of the paint. So this thing should fully be transformed and then rad as ever by this weekend, hopefully. So anyway, I don't know if this was a boring video or not. I don't really remember what I filmed or what I didn't film. But I can tell you tomorrow we should be working on the Evo. I've just been waiting on a couple parts and hopefully maybe even get that thing running. So fingers crossed. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope maybe there's a little bit of useful info to any of you guys out there that have RB20s that wanna make cool boost things. So cleanup time.